Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start today coming into a child's pose. So you're going to swing over to sit on your shins. And then you can choose to have the knees together or the knees apart, whichever feels more comfortable for you. You're going to come into a hands under the forehead alignment with the arms. So stacking the hands one on top of the other and resting your forehead to your hands. Taking some deep breaths into this space. Feeling the expansion of the lungs right from the bottom all the way to the top. And then emptying the lungs all the way down to the bottom. And as you breathe, feeling into the back body, feeling the spine lengthen, the rib cage broaden. Feeling your lower back tuck slightly down towards the heels. And gently lifting into the bandhas to feel extra compression into the abdominal organs. Connecting mind, body, and breath. And setting your intention for this morning's practice. Creating an image of your intention and placing that into the space between the eyebrows. Internally gazing inwardly and upwardly at your intention. Taking 3 rounds of Brahmari breath, inhaling through the nose and humming the air out for as long as your lung capacity allows. Keep the lips closed but the jaw soft. Taking a deep breath in. At the end of your 3rd round, keep your eyes closed and just breathe into the effects of the pranayama. Feeling relaxed around the throat, the spine, the shoulders. Feeling the vibration into the face, the jaw, the opening of the lungs, the smooth, soft sensation left in the throat. On your inhale breath, start to walk your arms forward, stretching out your child's pose now, reaching your hands as far forward as you can go. Walking your arms over to one side, coming right off the mat and all the way to the very side of the room. Inhale back to the center and over to the other side. Anchoring back through the opposite hip to stretch the side torso. Let's inhale to the center and then start to lift up, plugging your hands firmly into the mat, tucking the toes. Let's lift up and back into a bent-legged downward facing dog. Slide the hips towards the sky and work your rib cage towards the thighs. Start to heel toe the legs here, stretching out through the hamstrings. And you can heel toe quickly if you want to get the blood pulsing, or slowly if you're feeling a little bit more tight. Remember to lift right up into the very tips of the toes, so you're working into the toe joint, stretching the front of the foot. Allowing the hips to gently oscillate from side to side, and turning the gaze under one shoulder and then under the other. Start to soften and release the tight areas in the body. When this full body stretch, down dog stretches from the tips of the fingers all the way to the heels. Coming back into a neutral space, sinking both heels towards the floor as you lift your hips up and back. Start to lift onto the toes of both feet, deeply bend your knees and slide those hips up towards the sky even more, working the rib cage towards the thighs. Start to curl into your tailbone, gripping the glutes tightly as you gently lower the knees towards the floor. Rounding into the back, engaging the belly, and then finding your way into tabletop. Flow through a few rounds of cat-cow pose. Connecting into all the different areas that are opening in this posture. From the crown to the tailbone, along the back of the body, and then along the front of the body, running over the pelvis, the abdomen, the chest, the throat. Inhaling, coming into a neutral position. Let's float up right arm and left leg. Kicking into the heel as you reach the fingertips forward. Lift into lower belly. On the inhale breath, bring the hands back and hold onto the foot, lifting the leg up to the sky. Open the throat, open the heart. And then extending to reach forward, and exhale to release down to the mat. Taking it to the other side, left leg, left arm, right leg. Kick into the heel as you pull the toes lightly in. Reaching your hand back, holding to the foot, and lifting the leg up to the sky. Kick the foot slightly back to help open the chest a bit more. Let's inhale to extend and exhale to release. Point your toes so the feet are flat onto the top of the foot. You're going to round into the back. Start to lift the knees off the floor, pressing into the tops of the foot. Lifting as high as you can go. Engage into the belly. Gently lowering back down to the floor. Hold into a neutral space for one breath. And then coming up for a second round. Pressing into the tops of the feet as you lift the knees off the mat. Round the back, tuck the tailbone. And gently releasing down. This time tucking the toes so that you're pressing the tips of the toes into the floor and lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, take little steps coming to the front of your mat. Legs as straight as you can manage. Slide the hands to the shin bones as you reach your head forward, reaching your tailbone back. Press your hips away from your head away from your hips, balancing onto the front of the feet, very light in the heels. As you exhale, start to forward fold down to the mat, lengthening the back of the body. Gently release the spine. Very welcome to hold the back of the calves or calf muscles or ankles if the fingers don't comfortably touch the floor. Keep releasing, softening, letting go. And then bend your knees and roll up, one vertebrae at a time, lifting slowly with control. Feel as though you're lifting from the shoulders, being pushed from the heels, coming all the way to stand into a Tadasana. Checking the alignment of the feet, middle toes lining up with the point of the heel, lining up with the hips, the shoulders, engaging into lower belly. It's inhale the hands to the sky, reaching the body tall. Exhale to forward fold all the way down to the mat, lengthening into the spine. Stick the tailbone up as you reach the head down. We're going to come back to the sky, straight flat body, lifting from the core. Use those inner thighs, lifting tall. Exhale to forward fold again, straight spine as you come down. On the inhale breath, lift halfway into a flat back. You can draw the hands onto the shin bones or bring the fingertips to the floor. Remember to keep the back of your neck long, reaching the crown forward, not the forehead. As you exhale, release the hands and step the right leg back into lunge. Sink your hips low, lift your chest high, squeezing into that back thigh. On the inhale breath, you're going to step forward into flat back and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the hands up to the sky. Lifting as tall as you can, reach the hands to the sky, press the heels to the floor. Let's exhale to forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And exhale, stepping the left leg into lunge. Sinking your hip low, lifting your chest high. Squeeze the back leg as you square the hips. Step the foot forward, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Let's inhale the hands all the way up. Reaching all the way to the sky, nice and tall. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway up. And exhale, stepping the right leg into lunge. On the next exhale, drop the knee to the mat and inhale the hands to the front thigh. Starting to push the hip away as you open up through the chest. Slide the hips a little bit closer towards that front heel and lift up in response, pulling the lower back out of the pelvis. Let's exhale the hands down to the mat, lifting the back knee off the floor. Inhale to step forward, flat back, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, reaching hands up to the sky. Exhale to forward folds. Inhale, lifting halfway up. And exhale to fold. Stepping the left leg back into lunge. Hold for the inhale breath. And then exhale the back knee down to the mat. Lifting up, hands to the front thigh. And gently pushing the hips away as you open up the heart. Keep rolling the armpits back, broadening the chest. Releasing hands to the floor, lifting the back knee up and stepping forward into flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, reaching hands all the way up to the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Lifting halfway up into flat back. And exhale the right leg into lunge. Hold for the inhale. And exhale the back knee down. Inhale, lifting the hands up to the sky. Interlocking fingers, pointing forefinger and thumb. Lifting the arms up out of the sockets, while at the same time drawing the shoulder blades back down. Exhale to bring the hands to the mat. Inhale the back knee off the floor. Let's step back into plank this time. Holding into plank, squeezing into the lower belly. From the plank, you're going to lift all the way up and back into downward facing dog. Breathe deeply into the space. Squeezing the back of the legs, lifting the hips all the way to the sky. Let's lift the right leg up and stepping the foot forward into lunge. On the inhale breath, step together, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way to the sky. Lifting up tall, exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, stepping the left leg into lunge. Hold for the inhale breath. And then exhale the back knee down to the mat. Inhale, sweeping hands up to the sky. Interlocking fingers, pointing forefinger and thumb. And as you slide the hips down, you open up the chest. On the exhale, bring the hands down to the mat and lift the back knee. Inhale into plank. Holding here. And then rounding into the back, coming into downward facing dog. Push the floor away with your hands. Spread the fingers wide, gripping into the tips of the fingers, opening the shoulder blades and turning the biceps to face forward. Let's inhale the left leg to the sky and stepping the foot forward into lunge. Inhale together, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the hands all the way up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, stepping the right leg into lunge. Keeping the back knee off the mat, inhale, high lunge. Really lifting into the back heels, sliding the front knee a bit deeper. Lift straight to the sky, leaning neither forward nor back, but straight up. And then exhale the hands to the mat. Let's inhale to plank pose. And this time lowering knees, chest and chin. Sliding into a low cobra. And back into downward facing dog. Breathing in your down dog. Engaging into the bandhas by lifting the pelvic floor, lifting the lower belly. Find the stability and the support that this creates in the body. Let's inhale the left leg to the sky and stepping the foot forward into lunge. On the inhale breath, stepping together, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the hands to the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, hands lifting up. And exhale, stepping the left leg into lunge. Keep the back knee off the mat as you roll your spine up. High lunge. Lift the back heel, sink the front knee down a bit deeper. Lift into lumbar spine. Exhale, bringing the hands to the mat and inhale into plank. Lowering knees, chest and chin. Sliding into low cobra. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Breathing into the space. Find Ujjayi breath, in and out through the nose. Soft sigh on both the inhale and the exhale. Let's take the right leg to the sky and stepping it forward into lunge. Inhale together, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, reversing the swan, lifting hands up to the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale the right leg into lunge. And inhale, lifting up into high lunge. Breathing into the space. Inhale to bring the hands behind your back, interlocking fingers, and start to open up the chest. Drawing the hands back towards the heel as the heel lifts towards the hands. Turning the gaze forward, step the back foot in and start to straighten the front leg so both heels are flat. Square the hips, opening up through the heart, and exhale to gently fold. You can stop halfway if you want, or fold all the way down, squeezing those inner thighs towards each other, keeping the hands interlocked and lifting them up and over the back body. From here, release the hands to the floor and stepping yourself back into plank. You can choose knees, chest, chin or chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Breathing into the space. Check that the neck is relaxed and that the crown of the head feels as though it's moving away from the tailbone. Let's take the right leg to the sky and step the foot forward into lunge. Inhale, together, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the hands to the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway up. And exhale the left leg back into lunge. Inhale, floating hands up, high lunge. Square the hips, work the inner thighs, create space in the lower back. Bringing your hands behind you, different finger on top, and rolling the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, lift the throat, make sure there's still space in the back of the neck. Turn the gaze forward again, step the back foot in, and square the front leg. Opening up through the heart and exhale forward into Parsvottanasana. Keep pushing your right hip back as you squeeze your left hip forward. Make sure the toes are relaxed and that you're using the sole of the foot to grip. Let's release both hands down to the floor and stepping back into plank. We're going to lower into knees, chest or chaturanga and hold. So engage into core, engage into quads. Let's bend the elbows and hold for a few breaths. Sliding up into your back bend, up dog or cobra, and then back into downward facing dog. Breathing deeply into the space. On your inhale breath, taking the left leg to the sky, left leg to the sky, and stepping the foot forward into lunge. Inhale together, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Let's bend the knees, reaching hands into chair pose. Lift your toes slightly as you sink the heels down. On the inhale, stand up, and then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping the right leg into lunge. And then inhale to lift up, high lunge. Pivot the back heel down, warrior two. Adjust your alignment so the front heel lines up with the arch of the back foot. Open the front thigh, open the back thigh. Spine straight to the ceiling, leaning neither forward nor backwards. Let's cartwheel the hands down to the mat and step back into plank. We're going to lower and hold for a few breaths. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the core. Coming into up dog or cobra on your inhale breath. And back into downward facing dog. On the inhale breath, taking the right leg to the sky and stepping forward into lunge. Inhale together, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, bending knees, reaching hands to the sky. Lifting into lower belly. Gently rounding the lower back slightly. And then inhale straight up and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale the left leg into lunge. On the inhale breath, reaching hands up, high lunge. And then opening into warrior two, adjusting however you need to find the correct alignment. Open the inner thighs, slide the feet away from one another. Use the feet to ground into the earth and then creating that energy to shoot up the back body. Let's cartwheel the hands down to plank and step your foot back. Breathe into the space. Let's lower down and hold. Coming over the feet into up dog or cobra and back into downward facing dog. On the inhale breath, taking the left leg to the sky. And exhale, stepping the foot forward into lunge. Inhale together, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, bending the knees, reaching the hands to the sky. Staying in your Utkatasana, float your right knee to your chest. Pivoting now to bring the foot into a figure of four. So you're still bent into your left leg. Drawing the hands together at the heart. and sitting a little bit lower. If you want to, you can bring the hands to the knee and the heel and get even deeper. Or maybe bringing the hands onto the standing ankle. From here, gently releasing the hands, stay with a bent knee and draw your right knee to your chest. We're going to float that foot back into a lunge. And then inhale into high lunge. Opening up, Virabhadrasana 2. And then inhale to straighten the front leg. Take it into the reclining triangle. And then reaching forward into Trikonasana. It's inhale, coming back up, re-bend the front knee, and then cartwheel the hands down to the mat, stepping back into plank. This time we're going to lower to the floor. You can drop knees or come down through Chaturanga, all the way down to the mat. Sliding the hands behind the back, drawing the fingers into an interlock, shoulder blades tightly together. Leave the legs on the floor for the first few breaths and just lift up the arms and the chest. Remember to keep your neck long and reach the heel of the hands down towards the heel of the feet. Puff the chest open. And breathe into the space, gently releasing down, hands under shoulders, tucking toes, and making your way back into downward facing dog. Breathing into your downward facing dog. Notice that the jaw is soft, that the tongue is soft, that the skin around your skull and your face is smooth. Maybe even just gently lifting the edges of the lips into a beatific expression. Let's take the right leg to the sky and stepping the foot forward into lunge. And then inhale together, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Bending the knees as you reach the hands up into chair pose. Engaging into the core muscles. Keep your right knee bent as you float your left knee to your chest. And then shifting into figure of 4, placing your heel to your right knee. Drawing the hands together at the heart. And working on the balance to begin. If your balance feels comfortable, you can start to work into the left hip a bit more by pushing the knee slightly towards the earth. Or deepening further by holding onto your standing ankle. It's inhale, coming back up to center, and then floating that leg back into lunge. On your inhale breath, rolling the spine up, high lunge. and then pivoting open, warrior two. Push the front foot into the floor to straighten your leg and leaning back into reclining triangle. Feel the energetic push from big toe to fingertip. Let's inhale, coming to center, and then reaching forward for Trikonasana. Remember to push the hips slightly in and the shoulders slightly back, lengthening the underside of the torso. Inhale, lifting back up to center and rebend the knee. Cartwheel hands down to the mat and step yourself back into plank. You're going to lower all the way to the floor, coming down slowly with control. And then reaching the hands behind your back. Roll the shoulder blades together, and this time we'll take the legs off the floor as well as the chest and chin. Lift your hands off the lower back towards the heels. Reach your toes to the room behind you. Lift your heart center up. Make sure the neck feels comfortable and spacious. And gently releasing from here. Hands under shoulders, making your way into downward facing dog. Breathing into the space. Taking your right leg to the sky, you're going to step the foot to your left thumb. So coming towards the left edge of the mat. Your back leg is now going to tuck neatly behind to sit down into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So your front foot is flat and your bottom foot is facing behind you. Let's lift up tall as you draw the knee into the chest. Keep anchoring through the sitting bones. And then we'll twist to the right hand side, wrapping your left elbow around your shin and the right hand behind the back. Let's inhale to the center, readjust the legs so you're in Gomukha Asana, stacking the knees one on top of the other with the soles of the feet facing backwards. Gently start to forward fold over your front leg. Let go of bandhas, let go of tension. And allow yourself to melt over your front thigh. Inhale to roll yourself back up to sit. Bring the hands behind you, and then you're going to engage the legs, opening the top leg wide, lifting the bottom leg, opening wide. Lift your hips off the floor, stick the tailbone out, leaning forward and then sitting back down again so you have an external rotation of those inner thighs. Open up through the heart and then gently melting your way forward. Remember to keep your feet flat, big toe and middle toe in the same space, and pressing against your imaginary wall. the inhale, breath lifting back up, and then bringing the right elbow to the inside of your right thigh, left arm overhead, reaching towards the toes. Anchor down through your opposite hip. Find a comfortable space for your neck. Let's inhale back up to center and then over to the left. Twisting the side torso and lengthening at the same time. Inhale, coming back up to center. Cross your ankles in front of you and then roll over onto the tops of the feet. You can walk, step or hop back into downward facing dog. Finding your breath here. Make sure you're still connecting to Ujjayi. Let's take the left leg to the sky and now stepping the foot to the right thumb. You're going to tuck your back knee neatly in to the left side. Let's sit up nice and tall as you hug your knee in towards your chest. Press your front big toes into the mat. Make sure you're not sitting onto your bottom heel. Let's take us into our Ardha Matsyendrasana twist by wrapping your right elbow around the shin and the left hand lightly behind the back. Reaching the ribs and the thighs towards each other evenly, so we're not putting more pressure into one side than the other. Returning now to center, shifting into Gomukha Asana by stacking the knees, pointing the soles of the feet behind you, gently melting forward. Completely surrender into the space. Let's inhale to roll up. Bring the hands behind you, and now you engage into the top leg, lifting it up and wide. Engage into the bottom leg, up and wide. This time we're coming into the balance. So you're going to bend into the knees. Find your sitting bones by gently rolling from side to side and coming right onto the very tips of the sitting bones. Interlock your fingers around your big toes, elbows inside the knees. Lift up as tall as you can. We're going to float these feet up into a balance. And now you lift your lower back and you push your belly button forward. So you have a lovely straight spine. Make sure you're on the tailbone. Make sure you're on the sitting bones and not the tailbone. If your hamstrings are quite long, you can extend the legs wide. If the hamstrings are a bit tight, then just stay with a bent knee. Either way, kick your heels away from you and lift your chest open. From here, you're going to either draw the knees together, keeping the knees bent, or you're going to keep the legs straight and draw the legs together so that we are in a Navasana variation, either knees bent or straight. If your knees are bent, you're now going to start to straighten them away from you, and we're all going to lower the heels to the floor while leaning the chest back. Float the heels off the floor as you slowly, slowly, slowly come down, and then all the way. Arms overhead, legs relaxed, arms relaxed. Take a lovely deep breath in and sigh the breath out. Let's take the knees into the chest. And then wrapping your right leg around your left for eagle twist. You can, of course, take a different reclining twist if that feels better for you, dropping the knees to the left side. Let's close your eyes here, taking a deep breath in and sighing the breath out. Returning to the center, unwrap the legs and switching to the other side. Inhale at the center and exhale to twist. Return to the center, unwrapping the legs, hugging your knees into your chest. And then making your way into Shavasana. Adjusting your alignment accordingly to feel spacious, to feel open. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your tongue, smoothing the skin around your skull, around your face, soft eyes, lips just gently lifting on either corner, creating a serene, beatific expression. slowly start to deepen and lengthen your breath. Feeling your belly rise and fall. Gently running your thumb over the tips of your fingers. Moving your toes, your ankles and your wrists. Sliding your feet together and extending your arms overhead. Taking a deep, energizing stretch as you yawn or sigh. Bending your knees and rolling onto your side. Keeping your eyes softly closed as you lift into a comfortable seated position. Drawing hands together to heart center. Just take a moment to remind yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Embodying your intention, not only for the hour on our mat, but for the rest of today. We'll close the class by chanting Om once and Shanti 3 times. Taking a deep breath in. Raising our hands to your third eye. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Lowering your hands to your lips, to your heart, to your mat. Bowing forward in recognition of your practice. Blinking eyes open. Inhaling to lift. Namaste.